The time was just after Japan's defeat in World War II. Japan was under the control of the U.S. military, and many cities saw a steady flow of American soldiers. One night, a locally famous beauty, aged 23, was walking near Kakagawa Station when she unfortunately encountered several American soldiers. They assaulted her and, for their morbid amusement as she struggled in pain, they shot bullets into her limbs at the joints and left her on the roadside before walking away. As she wandered in a critical state, fortune led a well-known local doctor to her. To save her life, he had no choice but to amputate her decomposing arms and legs. However, the woman, who had pride in her beauty, found no hope in living. She took advantage of a stroll on the Kakagawa Line bridge in her wheelchair, toppled it, and with her limbless body, she threw herself into an oncoming train. The police and the National Railway workers collected pieces of her body scattered along the tracks, but curiously, none of the pieces from her head and above were ever found. However, given the era, the memory of this event faded almost entirely within a few days. The incident occurred several months later. People who were fine in the morning started dying under mysterious circumstances. It seemed that once it happened in one household, neighboring households would soon experience similar tragedies. The police began a full investigation, and during interviews with the affected families, they found a commonality. On the morning of their deaths, the deceased had mentioned seeing a strange light the night before. This was a well-documented event, causing widespread panic in Kakagawa. The Kakagawa Police Department formed a task force dedicated to solving these incidents. A police officer, mapping the locations of the affected households, made a startling discovery. The curve connecting these points resembled the shape of a torso missing its limbs and head. Predicting who might be next became somewhat possible. Residents who sought the light were advised to report it to the police. Predictably, people along the curve who claimed to have seen the light ended up dying. But it turned out it wasn't light they were seeing. The morning confessions went like this. I woke up suddenly during the night and saw a faint light. As I watched, it grew brighter. Straining my eyes, I could see something moving within the light. It grew larger and approached me, a bloody, limbless torso crawling by moving its shoulders sideways. It got closer, and I was so scared I shut my eyes. Those who saw this apparition always died. Predicting he might be next, one terrified individual sought a purification ritual at Kashima Shrine, located between Kakagawa and Tatsuno City. A site where many locals visit for prayers before examinations. The shrine's priest said, "Beyond the darkness, I can see a terrible grudge targeting you. It's a grudge that can't be fully cleansed by any purification. If there's any way to protect yourself, when the limbless torso comes crawling towards you at night, do not shut your eyes but instead chant, Kashima-san, 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 3 times. To call upon the deity of this shrine." That night, the torso came crawling as predicted. Fighting his fear, the man kept his eyes open and chanted, Kashima-san, 3 times. The torso then circled around him before disappearing. Normally, the story would end here, but the grudge was strong and appeared to the man even as he traveled away. What became of him after is unknown. Unfortunately, knowing this tale means the apparition might eventually visit those who learn of it. I, hailing from Hyogo Prefecture, heard this story in high school, where discussing it was forbidden due to its terrifying nature or out of fear of superstition. Now that you've heard it online, let's hope Kashima-san, locally referred to as the ghost's torso, does not appear to you. If it does, remember not to close your eyes and chant, Kashima-san, 3 times.
Oh, scary, scary. Just hearing this story makes me shiver. But since you're here, why not enjoy it when Kashima-san comes? Open your eyes wide and say, Kashima-san, come. Haha, it's just a joke, of course. Maybe you won't be able to go to the bathroom alone at night? Then, let's meet again in the next story. Be careful on the night roads.